Hello everyone. Can you please confirm my voice is clear or not? Okay, great. Thank you. We'll be waiting for 2, 3 more minutes and we'll start then. Thank you so much. I hope my screen is visible to everyone. Okay. I hope that you guys have gotten the certificate of the last webinar. Whoever has joined the last webinar, those must have gotten their certificate. If you haven't opened yet, you can just check it. So before starting, I'm going to tell you that for today's webinar, you will get the certificate activated by 23rd of April. Okay. I'll be sharing you the link as I share in the last of the meeting. Fine. Waiting for 2 more minutes and then we'll start. Thank you for your patience. Okay. So the counting will be getting increased. Okay. So let me start with a very simple question first before introducing the topic. So my simple question is that how many of us has learned physics just by memorizing the formulas? Well, you are educators, so I'm not expecting the answer yes, but still. So yeah, your answers are welcome. So I remember that, okay, learning the physics was all about the formulas and the questions and, uh, two lengthy theorems, laws, right? Okay. So yes, please let me know how many of you learned physics by just memorizing the formulas with some of the concepts. Yes, no, okay, thumbs up. Anything will work, or you can just write in the chat box. Is my voice clear to you all? Okay, all right. Okay, so every educator is here, knows about all of it of physics, huh? Okay, great. Okay, so now imagine a classroom where students can actually see physics happening in front of them, right? So here comes drone in the picture, right? Math, I had to memorize the formulas, but the subject concept was. Okay, great. Then Radhika ji, you must have been a very, excellent student because I always used to memorize the formulas. Then later on, when I grew up, then I came to know about the theorems and everything. Then I realized, okay, how it is getting, related, how every theorem is related to our real life. Okay. So that is what drone is here for, right? To making sure that your students can't hear. Can you please confirm? Nilofer is saying that she can't hear. Anybody, a thumbs up or anything will work? Is my voice clear to everyone? Distortion is there. Okay. My voice is clear. Okay, just give me 1 minute, please. Is it fine now? Let's sort this first. Is it fine now? My voice is clear or not? Please let me know. Okay, great. Okay. Okay, thank you. All right. So might be my Bluetooth is not working properly. Okay. All right. Great. So yes, I was talking about the physics concept. If my voice was not clear, I'm just going to repeat my question again, which I was asking to you educators, that seeing physics happening in front of your eyes, in front of your students' eyes, with shouldn't you think that that will be very mesmerizing for them to learn something, to apply the theorem of physics and seeing in front of their eyes? Yes or no? Yes, right. So here comes the concept of drone over here. Okay. As per NEP 2020, education must move toward experiential and application-based learning, right? So drones are a perfect tool for that, to make these theorems understand, right? Let's say, for example, anybody would like to tell me that where exactly in India we are using drone? We are already using drones in India. Can you tell me that where, in which state we are using or for what we are using? Kashmir, okay. Rajasthan for border security, fine. Defense, yes, absolutely. For security, correct. Mostly answers are coming for security and defense, right? So let me tell you that in Maharashtra and Punjab, we are already using drones for crop spraying, right? Monitoring and defense and security, yes, definitely we are using. But in Maharashtra and Punjab, we are using it for crop, spraying as well, right? So students actually can connect these classroom learnings directly to these real life applications. Okay, so basically it is aligned with the drone concept, is aligned with country constructivist learning theory, also known as Jean Piaget. Okay, students can learn it better when actively they are constructing, and they are knowing, they are gaining some knowledge which is construction based. Okay, so another thing, as I always say, that it always help in 21st century, in uh, in just, yes, always go for the problem solving skills, 21st century skills, which has problem solving, which is, let's say, for example, if we are talking about drone, then why is drone unstable, right? Yes, this disaster management, absolutely the right answer. Yes. So I was talking about the problem solving skills which the students or the educators or anybody can actually develop by just thinking that why drone is unstable, right? Critical thinking, how the motors are failing or working, right? Real world connect, how it is working for agriculture, delivery, mapping. There are many things, many ways of understanding the drone. There are many sectors which where we are using the drone, but yes, it has some limitations as well. We will talk about that as well. Okay, so my question for you guys is, if you are going to give drone kit to your student, so which subject you are going to teach first? Because drone applies physics also, maths also, coding also. Again, I'm repeating the question. If you will give your student a drone kit, then which subject you are going to teach first? Physics, maths, or coding? Okay, sensors. Okay. Okay, maths, physics. Yes. Okay. Integration, right? Yes, obviously. Coding. Okay. Yes. Okay. Mapping with coding. So basically, actually, the thing is that drone is all about, integrating every concept. I will tell you bit by bit how we are integrating all the concept. Yes, all. Yes, the right answer is actually all, right? Bit by bit and integrating each and everything, we are going to make them understand every law of physics, every every working of a motors or a propellers, or how the mechanical concept is there, how the engineering concepts are going to get integrated, and how the coding. Obviously, without coding, without brain, you can't do anything, right? Okay. Yes. So question is, what is drone? Okay. So a very simple answer, yet having multiple layers in it, that drone is simply UAV, that is unmanned aerial vehicle, right? It is unmanned aerial vehicle. So you can simply say, for understanding the students, that it's a flying robot which is controlled by a software, physics, and electronics all combined. Quadcopter is a type of it. I'll definitely tell you about it. I have already written that. Yes, it is, but drone is simply unmanned aerial vehicle. There are two types of the unmanned aerial vehicle, which we call drone. That is fixed wing, like aeroplanes, and multi-rotors. That is, as Vishwajit has said, that quadcopters. Yes, we actually generally we use quadcopters in schools for the demonstration, or even for making it as well. Okay, because fixed wings, like airplanes, are quite costly and quite hard to make as well, right? There are multiple things which can go wrong in making fixed wings. Okay, and somebody was saying that it has been used for the disaster management. Yes, it is actually correct. In Uttarakhand flood, we actually Indian force has used drones only for the for mapping the disaster over there in Uttarakhand. We use it for the medicine delivery as well in the remote areas in the northeast region or somewhere where a person can not go faster than drone, right? So drone actually works on a control system theory. Fine. There is a control system theory, which is input that is taken by a sensor, which is processing, that is a flight controller, and the output is all about the adjustment of the motor. That is the toughest part I always find whenever I go for the fly of a drone, right? How we are adjusting those motors, right? So like we teachers adjusting our class, right? For making sure that every student is learning everything and they are getting the good feedbacks as well, right? So how many of you or your students have seen drone in real life? Please let me know the answers. How many of you or your students, might be you have worked also, has seen drone in real life? Or you have worked on it, anything, please write in the chat box. Okay, great. Okay, all right. Seen drones, okay. Okay, you have an ATL lab, that's great. Okay, you have made drone in your engineering days, that's a good thing, okay. All right. So it is, as I told you, that there are two type of it. I have shown it over here. So we'll be discussing that only, what principles actually they are working on and how they are working, okay. So fixed wing drone principle and design we are going to talk about. I'll keep it very short. Don't worry about it. I'll just tell you the basic examples of it and the working theorems. Okay. So let's go for the fixed wing drone and side by side I'll be comparing as well. Okay. So fixed wing is basically works on which principle? So many of you already know about drones. So can I know that anybody knows about it? That on which theorem fixed wing drone works? It's a very basic physics theorem. Anybody of you? Gyroscope is just a sensor. I'm asking about the principle. Fixed wing drones works on which principle or theorem? It is written in the, it is written here also. Bernoulli's, yes. F is equal to ma. No, F is equal to ma works, but that is a different part of it. We will definitely discuss. But fixed wing actually works on Bernoulli's theorem, right? Needs forward motion always, right? And the main and important thing is that keeping everything in constant level. It needs faster air, which should be equal to the lower pressure. That will actually give you the result of lifting the drone. Aerodynamics is it's itself principle. Okay, I'm talking about the scientific one, the basic one, very not the scientific but basic one. So fixed wings are basically works on Bernoulli's theorem. You can make students understand that simply it will be needing a faster air, lower pressure, and that will result into the lift of the drone. Okay, so basically we use these kind of fixed wings for mapping large farmlands. Okay, another is multi-rotor. Can anybody tell that multi-rotor will work on which theorem? Or quadcopter? Then I'll tell you about the principles and the systems and the flight characteristics? Anybody? Multi-rotor, the quadcopter, works on which theorem? I'm not going to show you the slide. Okay. All right. Newton's third law of motion. Yes, correct. Thank you, Vikasji. Yes, it is correct. Okay. So yes, these are two type of drone, fixed wing and the multi-rotor, and these two works on different theorems. Fixed wing works on Bernoulli's, and the multi-rotor works, or the quadcopter works on Newton's third law of the motion. Okay, so first we will be discussing about fixed wing, because it has a particular way of lifting the drone. As I told you, that it should be a faster air, low pressure, and it will create a lift, right? What is the system for the propellers over here? We have to provide a forward thrust. What does it mean? That we have to give all the weight towards the forward wings. Okay, the electric motors should be on highest efficiency, so that, or you can say that it should be a highest speed of the propeller to make it lift. Okay, the flight characteristic should be very smooth. It should be, maintaining the constant way of lifting the drone. It shouldn't be, shaky. Okay, and maximum time we use fixed wings for the longer period of time or longer distance. If we want to go for the longer distance mission or something, then we prefer fixed wing, because it has the flight characteristic like that. It has a capability of flying for a longer distance and longer time. Okay, educational applications, we can use a large mapping area, we can survey for our projects, right? We can use this kind of drones for the survey. Environmental monitoring also we can do. We can go for the agriculture assessment as well. So there are multiple ways we can use this fixed wing drone. Okay, multi-rotor, as I told you, that it has, why it is known as multi-rotor, because it can be typically four motors or wing, you can say, or 6 or 8 wings. Okay, and it always go, the fixed wing was always for the forward thrust, and multi-rotors always work for the upward thrust. It actually pressurize the air below it, and then take a lift. Okay, each rotor in the multi-rotor has to be controlled independently. Okay, and the maneuver will be following 4 key things, which is pitch, roll, yaw, and throttle, that I'll show you later. Okay, the power maximum time, the battery which we use, that is a lithium polymer batteries for drone. And let me tell you, maximum of nice drones or good drones also, they doesn't have that capability of battery. You have to change the battery, and it is quite a costly one as well. Okay, flight time of multi-rotor, which is using the lithium polymer batteries, it is 20 to 45 minutes, depending upon the payload. If the payload, it means that if it is carrying something, then the time will also can get lesser. Okay, so higher power consumption is there in the multi-rotor. Battery management is quite a thing over here, okay, which we have to manage. Okay, for educational applications, you can see in the marriages, we use it for the videography, for the photography, for the campus mapping, or the very smaller projects we can use it. But that has a limit of, battery consumption. Okay, so these are some obstacles which multi-rotor has, these limitations multi-rotor has. For the limited time, it can be used. Fine. So these are some drone components which I have showed you, which has, okay, I have one question as well before going to the parts of the drones. When blades move in the opposite direction, it propels the chopper forward. Yes, correct. I would like to ask you one question, that which one, two type we have discussed here, which one is more appropriate for the schools? The fixed one, the fixed wing one, or the multi-rotor? Please write the answer in the chat box. Multi-rotor. Okay. You can write why also. Okay. So basically any of it, yes, multi-rotor, because obviously, okay. Okay, so as I told you that there is a very clear difference between the multi-rotor and the fixed wing, because fixed wing is used for the larger distance and it has a capability of, going very up in the sky, like traveling a good distance also, right? But multi-rotors has a time limit thing, and for the smaller projects, so school basically go for the multi-rotors one, not the for the flying wing one, because there are multiple reasons, like for example DGCA. Drones also has some limitations, right? So we have to follow those limitations as well. We will discuss it as later. Okay. Yes. Okay, here comes that the drone components, the frame. Frame is basically what? The body structure. Any kind of robot, if you are making and there is no frame or there is no body, then the circuit is not going to work, because you have to make it happen, correct? So the frame is basically, and how I'll tell you how it is related to the STEM concept as well. Frame is basically engineering design, right? Designing something, giving a body, giving a structure. Then comes motors. Now, motors is all about the mechanics and physics. It's all about that. Okay. Batteries. Batteries are all about chemistry, right? Chemical compositions. Flight controller is all about coding. It is also known as brain, right? Giving instruction to your drone, or or controlling it with the remote, correct? And without coding, that's not possible. Sensors. Now there are cameras are installed, the gyroscope are GPS. There are multiple things are installed in the drones as a sensor for getting different kind of informations, correct? So you can also compare the drone with your human body, right? Our brain basically works like a controller. Our muscles basically works like motors. And can you tell me that what exactly works like sensor? Don't tell me GPS and gyroscope. In our body, what exactly works like sensor? Eyes, okay. Skin, yes, correct. Any of our five senses works like sensor, correct? Okay, yes. So this is how it is connected to the STEM concept also. This is how the drone is connected to our human body also, right? The whole system, always the theory behind is whole system is sum of all the parts, all different parts. We are integrating it, and we are making a whole system, correct? So here one example I'll give. Let's say, for example, the GPS which we have installed in the drone, it loses or somehow it is not working. Then in that case, the coding comes in this particular field. How it is failing, why it is failing. It's not about only doing the coding, it's all about the debugging as well, right? If something is not working in the whole part, then we have to check also. Likewise, we check in our body, right? If our eyes are swollen or our muscle are sore, then we will work for it, right? For each part. It's the same thing for drone. If any of it is not working, then the whole drone will not work, right? Okay. So which part of drone basically fails? If you have experienced it, can you tell me that which part of drone maximum time gets failed? Robot. Flying control. Lifting. Okay. Stability. Okay. Flying control, lifting and stability is okay. All right. Anybody else? Okay. Actually, it's okay. Can't track. It means that your drone is flying too far, huh? Okay. The motors. Okay. Actually, my answer is anything. It can be anything. It can be your rotor. It can be your propeller. It can be anything. It can be a battery failure or a single motor or a spark can fail your drone, right? It's as I told you, it's all about the wholesome, right? It's all about the integrated thing. Everything is dependent. And for flying a drone with stability, it is required to maintain all of it. The integration should be maintained. Everything should be working, right? Then only it will fly. Else it will give you a hard time. Okay. All right. So this is how it looks. Okay. The frame is all about the body part. The flight controller is all here in the microbit or the IC which we have used. The motors and propellers, I have specifically shown you the multi-rotor, the quadcopter, because generally we use in the school, right? The propellers I have showed you, the battery I have showed you, and the sensors over here. Okay, this is how the drone looks with the parts. Okay. So rotor and propeller, it has a physics law. That is why I have written so much here. So I want you to make you understand that how it is actually working. Okay. How the drone power system is simply, follow some rules over here. So propellers and designs, basically propellers or blades gets failed due to multiple reasons. Let's say, for example, you are good in flight, but somehow you missed something and the drone got, came into the floor, or it hit the propeller or hit the blade. Then again, you have to go for the all of the thing. Again, you have to repair it and do all the things. You have to set certain angles of it. You have to maintain the weight as well to make it work, right? So the blade pitch angle determines the thrust generation basically. Okay. Clockwise and anti-clockwise, both type of rotors you have to use to make sure for the direction change. Okay. The blade material can be plastic or carbon fiber. In both cases, they are very lightweighted, and that is efficient and effective for the durability, right? To make sure and to generate the thrust. Okay. How the thrust generation actually, how this mechanism works. So basically, it has a Newton's third law. What is Newton's third law? Anybody? What is Newton's third law? So many educators are here. Anybody of you? Each action is there. Okay. Each action has equal opposite reaction. Absolutely correct. Yes. This is how it works, right? Thrust generation is something that the input and output, you have to make it equal for the lift actually. Okay. You have to give the full power for making sure that the blade are directly by rotating directly affects the thrust and it gives a lift, right? Basically, it pressurizes the air in, in the surrounding to go to the downward direction and create the thrust to uplift it. Okay. The motors and the controller, or the ESC, you can say that electronic speed controllers are basically the motor drivers, you can say. Okay. These are basically controlling whether you are using four motors in the quadcopter or 6 or 8. This ESC is very important because it is also known as the brain of the drone, because all the coding or all the, you can say, relatable tasks or instructions are given through the brain only, right? So signals are given to the rotor or to the motor and they speed up, correct? E- Another thing is that every single rotor and motor are independent and controlled by only single brain. Okay, so the pitch, rolling, yawing, and throttle movement actually has, you can see that drone has a different way. It can go up, down, left, right, or different angles, can flip. So it can be happen only when all the motors are placed over there are independently working. Okay, it gives you a real time effect. Okay, efficiency and performance, right? So well, whenever we talk about efficiency and performance in drones, we always make sure that the drone who is taking less power and giving more output is more efficient, is more good. So anybody of you can tell me that in the quadcopters, which kind uh, of drone are mostly used for flight, you can say flight learning. Okay, let me give you three names first. The Pluto you have seen in the market, or the smart drone. The two options are there. Any Pluto, first of all, have you seen Pluto? Okay. Pluto is a very light-weighted drone. It comes like it is tiny and small, right? Yes. And it generates a good amount of thrust to lift up the drone. Nano Mini, yes, correct. DJI, okay, okay, all right. So there are many drones which we can use for the, I'm just asking about just to learn the flight control, right? The brain and everything is the secondary part. So what makes you choose this? Because it is very easy, right? There's a very less power consumption. Batteries are very easily, easily you can get in the market as well, right? It creates a high speed maneuvers. It has a very good flight quality, right? So these kind of these points actually we keep in our mind while going for the flight learning. Okay. Yes. So basically, whenever we talk about the propellers are not only the blades. Propellers are basically, they work like airfoils, right? The thrust is always proportional to the square of RPM. Okay. It has the more faster the rotation of the propeller will be there, the more the thrust it will generate and it will give you a good flight experience. Okay. Let's say, for example, if you will compare, you can say drone propellers, you can say in real life example, that is ceiling fan we use, right? It has blades, right? Fan actually circulates the air. Drone creates the directional force, right? Fans are basically circulating the air only, but drone actually, it creates the force through that air, correct? So here we learn about the clockwise and anti-clockwise rotation, which creates the stability. That is your Newton's third law, right? And it also give the balance, right? My question is that what happens if all the propellers rotate in same direction? As I told you, easy to control and blow. Yes, correct. As I told you that every motor has to be independent in quadcopter, right? In multi-rotors. What will happen if all the motors will start rotating in the same direction? It can't fly, okay? Unstable. Yes, correct. Actually, what will happen is drone will be there and it will spin uncontrollably. Okay, it will not lift. Correct. So that is why it is very important to use independent motors which can create their own thrust. Okay. Yes. Drone will spin. Yes, correct. Okay. Yes, absolutely correct. Okay. So here I have given you that physics of flight, how the force and motion can be used, right? So lifting and lift everything in drone is all about the weight as well, right? Weight and the mechanism and how you're using it. Okay. So there are four forces actually it works. Okay. Lift, weight, thrust, and drag. Okay. So if we want a good equilibrium, then lift should be equal to the weight and thrust should be equal to the drag. How? There are two laws we are using. That is, first law, that is stability, and the second law we are using motion, and the third law is for the lifting. Correct? Basically, if we want to take the drone takeoff, we have to use the acceleration which we use on the highest speed of bike. Okay. If the wind is increasing, okay, so what should the drone do? If there is an increase of the wind, then what will happen? It will increase the thrust as well, correct? And the more the thrust will be there, the more good lift and the stability it will create. So there is, just a second. Here I have tried to make you explain all this instead of giving this theory, that how it is actually working, okay? How the lift is equal to weight. So whenever the lift is equal to weight, it will hover, correct? If you want it to go towards the upward direction, taking a lift and go towards the upward direction, then you have to make sure that a lift is there and the weight is lesser than that. Okay. If you want to go downward, that you have to increase the weight. It means the propellers which you have to slower it down. Correct. That is how it will come down. Okay. So hover means, what does it mean? That it will maintain the position. And that is the toughest part of flying the drone, to maintaining the drone stable in the air. Okay. This is quite a tough task and it actually needs a good practice, good hand practice. Okay. So thrust basically control the horizontal movement. Here I have tried to show you a video how basically see, this is rolling, right? This is basically the rolling. This is yawing. Rolling is basically, it is controlling the wings or basically ailerons, right? Yawing is basically it use the rudder to control and flip here and there. This is the back of the part, this one, okay? Not the wings. And we use the elevator to control it, to make sure that it is keeping the angles up and down. Okay. These are few drone movements, how the throttle up and down, you can say, how the pitch, which is forward and backward, how the roll, which is left and right, and how the yaw, rotation happens. I'll just quickly start everything so that you can see all together. So it is going up and down. This is forward and backward. This is left and right. And this one is rotation. See, this will give you the upward direction, okay, and downward direction. I'll play it again for more clarity. So as I told you about the hover, that is balanced. If you want to take your drone up, you have to make sure that you are lifting it and lessing the weight. If you want to take your drone down, then you have to increase the weight and lift it down. Okay. Okay. Can you give me any example where you can actually feel the hover or the increasing or decreasing or the lift or the or coming down, except drone? My question is that except drone, can you feel the hover or the lift increment from the weight or lift decrement from the weight? It means that you are going up and down. Aeroplane is type of that only. Okay. Another example, please. It's a very basic one. Okay. Lifts, elevators. Yes, absolutely correct. Merry-go-round. Yes. Please. Yes. Yes, correct. Actually, yes. Okay. So whenever we talk about drone, as I am showing right now, the throttle, pitch, roll, and yaw, actually you can show the students through your hands, right? Okay. The hands can be up, down, right, left, and making the angles as well. So this is the easiest example you can show for all these four type of movement. Okay, four movement are there and four forces are there. Okay, so throttle is for, as I told you, up and down. Pitch is for forward and backward. Roll is for side, going side by side, left and right, and yaw is for rotating. So basically you are going to experience vector mechanics over here, where movement is happening through the changing of motor speeds. Correct? Okay. And here there can be, you can experience many things, that the forward motion is equal to backward motion, or it is faster, or it is slower, depending upon that where exactly your drone you want to take, up, down, left, right, or just hover it. Okay. So here another thing, what students can understand about the mathematical concept of coordinates, right? What is in all these four, what do you think, which is most hardest to control? Throttle, roll, up, throttle, roll, pitch, or yaw? Roll. Okay. Pitch. Okay. Yaw. Okay. Actually it is yaw, because yaw is all about the rotation. I'll show you again. Rotating in clockwise direction or anti-clockwise direction needs a very stable hand on on the controller, because the motors will be working in the same direction in the air to make sure it is moving, it is rolling. That is the very toughest part to do. Okay. Yeah. So here I'm going to tell you some of the DGCA rule as well. Drone comes with the limitations. We all know about it, right? It always comes with the limitations. So can anybody tell that what exactly is DGCA? What is DGCA? A full form of DGCA? Director General of Civil Aviation. Well, quite a close one. Yes, it is Directorate General of, yes, director, not director, directorate. Like we have a secretariat. It is like that. Directorate General of Civil Aviation. Yes. And it has the rules and regulations to be followed when you are working with drone in the outer areas, right? Correct. Yes. So what are these rules? Well, technology always comes with the responsibility because it always carry a danger with itself, right? So there are key rules of which you have to follow while working on drone. You have to not go maximum from 120 meter. The altitude you have to maintain till 120 meter. Okay. Yes, it regulates the aviation of India. Correct. So no fly zones are there. Like for example, drones are not allowed in certain areas. Like you can't go for the airport because it has a flight risk, right? There are multiple ways. There are multiple rules over here in India. There are avoid no, you have to avoid no fly zones. You have to maintain the visual line of sight. You have to register your drone if you are working it for commercial based. The drone registration is the most important thing if you are using it commercially. Okay, so these are few rules of DGCA which you have to follow if you are working for the with the drones. And it also is very necessary that you are doing your innovation with responsibility. Okay, so there are few safety practices as well, so that also I'll like to tell you. Like pre-flight checks the propellers, check the batteries. Don't keep the batteries for longer time in the drone. It will create, as batteries never shut down, you already know that, right? It has a chemical composition, so always check the battery before flying. This is really very important. Check your in it or anything. And very important is that check the whether the climate is in your favor or not for flying the drone, correct? So it can, any damaged propeller can experience the crash of the drone, right? So we have to follow the engineering safety protocols, right? Same goes for the any aviation, right? You have to go in the open areas, you have to avoid the crowded areas. Any kind of obstacle, a bird or flight or anything, it can harm your drone, right? Emergency landing, this is really very important that you are aware that how the drone will come down. Otherwise, what will happen if you're shutting it down? It will directly come because of the gravity, right? So these are few very important things. Educational applications. Now, this is something which I really want to know from you guys. Mapping and geography, we know that. Environmental monitoring, physics and maths, aerial photography. Anybody of you can give me any example of all four of it, how we are doing it and where we are doing it? Or you can say that how it is connected with certain, uh, subjects. Okay, I'm repeating my question. How do you think that in which area, or you have seen or you have experienced the educational applications, which is used for mapping the geography, environmental monitoring, physics and mathematics, or aerial photography? Well, aerial photography, everybody is seeing in the marriages, right? It is all related to the media, right? Actually, education, why it is drone is very good for the educational application, because it actually covers many of the subjects over here. Mathematics for the calculation, science for the, for different theorems, and might be pollution tracking. Geography it is using for mapping. I just want one example from your side, which you have seen. Accessing remote locations. Yes. Specifically when there is any kind of in movies, news events. Yes, you're using it. So specifically when there is any kind of flood or any kind of disaster, climate disaster, for the medicines, for, for we are using drones for delivering the medicines, delivering the food, right? These are few examples which we always see every year in India, right? But you want to tell me, or you have experience, you have seen it. Well, we Indians are now using the drones for smart farming, as we have already discussed, right? So we can say that drone is something, it is a one tool which is using for multiple, which is, consisting multiple subjects, right? Okay. So STEM project and future scopes, right? Building the drones, as many of you has said that you are already working on it, or your students might be working on it, right? So building the drones, coding for the drones, solving real life problems like setting the motors, setting the propellers, right? There can be multiple school projects where you can use drone for it. That is mapping of the school also, right? There are multiple obstacle challenges which you can take it as a competition in the school, right? You can give a competition like delivery model or something, correct? Or you can use drone for the survey, right? There are multiple career opportunities, and it is always it drone is all about the STEM projects only, and it has multiple areas where you or your students have the future scopes, right? In agriculture, tech, in defense, in logistics, right? There are multiple areas where a student can see a career into it. Okay. Educational programs which we are working is in ATL also. Many of you are here who are working with ATL or might be having ATL labs, right? So in the ATL labs also, drones are taken as a compulsory component for making sure that the students and educators are learning about it. Okay. The technical project based learning, which consists drone, this is a very good project for your students, right? Where also one more thing, you can integrate the AI and IoT over here. Now recently one of my friend and my colleague has created one drone with the use of a microbit at the place finding or missing persons. Actually, this is a very good use of drone. So yes, I was telling that using a microbit, and microbit, make code microbit. If you don't know about it, please search it. It consists the block coding. See how easy it will be there. It will be for students to code for a drone. Drone is something like taken as a hardest project, right? But now it is becoming so easy just because there are multiple controllers, multiple brain controllers are there in the market, which are very easy to code. And if drone is getting coded by block based programming, so it's a very win-win case, right? Okay. Anybody of you has worked on microbit here? Anybody of you? BBC microbit, yes. Okay. So whoever is working on microbit, V2 microbit, yes. Whoever is working on microbit, they know that it's very easy and it is actually working for the AI and IoT as well, right? It's a microcontroller, yes. It's a microcontroller, and any controller can be working for any project, whether it is drone or a simple project. Okay. Connect with coding. Yes. So that is what I'm saying, that if the coding, if the block-based coding is there, then it will be easy for the, for the students from the 5th or 6th grade students also, that they can code for their own drone, right? So yeah, correct. Okay. Yes. If you have any query, you can just let me know. So this is our certified STEM educator program. I always tell you about it, that, and many of you are also in the program, are this program. Definitely you will be certified, and this is the program which is consisting 5 modules. You will be learning robotics, block Python, 3D designing, game development, app development, which are first of all, which are aligned with NEP 2020, which is very much helpful for the educators who are already working with the ATL lab or robotic lab in their school, right? So I'll be sharing a link of registration. If you want to register yourself, you will get the link from here. I'll just send you the link. You can just check it out by by filling the form. How to code a drone with microbit? Well, it is very easy. It has a extension file. We have an extension file which is created by STEMROBO only, right? So that is how we use as an extension in the make code microbit, and we can code it. Can I get the recording of this? Yes, the recording will be, all the recordings will get live on YouTube after a week. This, I've sent you the certified educator program form. Anybody of you is having any query, you can just fill the form. Okay. I'm going to share you the certificate link. As I told you in the starting only, the certificate the certificate link will be open after 22nd April or 23rd April. Okay. So the username will be your registered email ID, and the password will be STEMROBO. You can check it on or after 22nd April. Okay. Yes. Yes, you will get in the same ID. Anybody is having any questions? I'll take the questions. Anybody can ask related to the drones or the topic, or what you want in the next topic. Might be, how did you like the class, the session, the webinar? We'll get in the same main ID. Yes, the ID which you have registered, the ID which you have used to get registered yourself, the same ID will work. Okay. The password will be STEMROBO. Any other question you have? Okay. So I'll end this webinar by just closing for the drones. Drones are just not machines. It is actually your classroom. Okay. So because from your classroom, the theorems, the laws, everything has been taught to the students so that they can use and experience in the real life, whether it is drone or any other projects, right? So yeah, keep motivating your students. Okay. Yes, you will get the recording. As I told you that it will get live on YouTube after a week, or might be from Tuesday or Wednesday. You can just go to STEMROBO Technologies, YouTube of STEMROBO Technologies, and you can check the webinar. You can just search for it. You'll get it. Yes, so Dipta, you have any question? You raise your hand. Please arrange the sessions on advanced tools and coding platform. Well, I was thinking about Kahoot. Kahoot is a platform which we use for the teachers' learning management, or you can say, creating the quizzes, the live quizzes. Will you be interested in that? So I'll be taking the session, taking the webinar for this. Okay, fine. Okay. Anybody else you can just please share this PPT. Well, PPT I can't share. I'm so sorry. But yes, you can see it on YouTube. The certification program is online, and you can just fill the form and connect with us. I'll tell you all the details about it. Any other question you have? Okay. Offline also, if you want to visit our office, I'm most welcome. I'll be welcoming you. You can visit office. It is in Sector 63, Noida. Okay. You can just visit us. I'll be there waiting for you. You can come and check over here. We can discuss about it, the certified educator program. You can come and see our lab as well, our studio as well. Okay. I'm very sorry, Dishaji, I can't share the PPT, but as I told you that you will get the session recording on YouTube. Okay. You can just check it. You can just search STEMROBO Technologies on YouTube and search for the webinars. You will get all the webinars which I have taken so far, or which multiple persons has taken so far in STEMROBO. Okay, so, it's okay if you have missed. You can see the recording on YouTube. Okay, the certification you will get. You just fill the form. I'll connect with you. My number will be shared with you. We can connect and I'll tell you about the certification program, okay? And the certification for this webinar, as I told you, I'll share it again. The certification for this webinar, you will get it after 22nd April. I'm sharing you the link again. Might be you have missed it. Just a second. Yes. I hope that you got the message. You can just use it, okay? Okay, thank you so much, everyone, for being so polite, for being responsive, for participating. I hope I'll meet you in the next session. Definitely, I'll go for the TLM, okay? And how it is connected for the STEM. And specifically, I will work on Kahoot and different platforms also I'll tell you. But definitely, I'll work on Kahoot, that how anybody can create a live quiz. And we will play together as well, okay? All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Keep connecting. Bye-bye. Take care. Have a good weekend.